You ever feel like you're arguing with an AI? You ask for something super specific and what you get back is vague or generic or sometimes just flat out wrong. It's a really common struggle. But what if I told you there are two key skills that can turn that whole struggle into a symphony? Skills that make you a master conductor who can steer an AI to get precisely what you want. Let's break down how.
All right, here's our game plan. We're going to start with a really powerful analogy, thinking of your AI as a brilliant intern. Then we'll dive into the two core skills for managing that intern, how to craft the perfect instruction and how to provide the right information. We'll compare them, see how they team up, and most importantly, we'll talk about why mastering this is going to completely change how you work with AI.
So let's get right to it. We have these unbelievably powerful AI models just waiting for us to use them. But, just having the power isn't enough. Harnessing it and getting it to do what we actually need, well, that's the real challenge.
This is the fundamental question, isn't it? How do we go beyond just asking simple questions to getting answers that are nuanced and accurate and genuinely useful? And importantly, how do we stop the AI from hallucinating? Just inventing facts when it doesn't know the answer.
Okay, here's the best way to think about this whole thing. Treat your AI like a brilliant but very literal-minded intern. It is incredibly smart. It can process just insane amounts of information in seconds. But like an intern on their very first day, it needs crystal clear direction and the right resources. It will do exactly what you say, not what you mean. That's the key.
So, step one in managing our new AI intern is giving them a perfect task memo. And this brings us to our very first key skill, prompt engineering.
Prompt engineering is all about the instruction itself. Think about it. It's the difference between telling your intern, hey, look into sales, versus giving them a really detailed, actionable request. It's about you being a great manager by being a fantastic communicator.
So what does a great instruction look like? Well, it has four key parts. First, you give the intern a role. Tell it who to be. Act as a senior data scientist. Then, you give it a specific task. Summarize this report. Next, you define the format you want back. Give it to me in a bulleted list. And finally, you add constraints. And hey, do not use any technical jargon. See how much more precise that is? You're setting it up for success.
We can get even more advanced here. A zero-shot prompt, that's like asking your intern to write a press release with zero guidance. They'll probably do an okay job. But a few-shot prompt, that's where you give them a couple of examples first. You'd show them 2 or 3 really great press releases so they can see the style and tone you're looking for. The result you get back is going to be so much closer to what you actually want.
Now this is probably my favorite technique. If you give a junior team member a really complex problem, what do? You'd probably ask them to walk you through their logic, right? Well, that is exactly what chain of thought prompting is. By just adding the simple phrase, think step by step, you force the AI to show its work. And when it does that, it dramatically cuts down on errors and leads to a much more reasoned, accurate answer.
Okay, so we've mastered writing the perfect instruction. Awesome. But even the best instructions in the world are totally useless if our intern doesn't have the right background materials to work with. And this brings us to our second key skill, context engineering.
Context engineering isn't about the instruction at all. It's about the information the AI can see. It's about making sure your intern isn't just guessing or pulling from some random, outdated public knowledge. Instead, it's working from a specific, curated set of documents that you provide. This is how we guarantee accuracy and relevance.
Now, to really get why context is so important, we have to talk about a crucial limitation called the context window. Just think of it like the AI's short-term memory, or maybe the amount of paperwork it can fit on its desk at one time. It can't read your company's entire 10-year history all at once. It can only focus on what's immediately in front of it, which is why managing that desk space is so critical.
So, a super powerful way to manage this is a technique called Retrieval Augmented Generation, or RAG for short. It's pretty cool. Instead of making your intern read a 500-page textbook for one single question, RAG is like a super fast research assistant. It scans your entire library of documents, finds the exact pages that are relevant to your question, and hands only those pages to the AI. It retrieves information and augments the AI's knowledge. The answer is guaranteed to be based on your specific data.
And beyond just documents, context also includes things like conversation history. Should the assistant remember what you were talking about 5 minutes ago? And also key metadata, like what today's date is, or the user's location.
All these little pieces of information help make sure that AI's answers are consistently relevant and up to date.
So now we've got two powerful tools in our belts: prompt engineering for the instruction and context engineering for the information. Let's put them side by side to really let the difference sink in.
Okay, so the difference really just boils down to this. Prompt engineering is all about the instruction. Its goal is clarity and better reasoning. It's like writing a perfectly clear exam question. Context engineering, on the other hand, is all about the information. Its goal is accuracy and relevance. It's like giving the student the right textbook for that exam. Simple, right? One tells the AI how to think, the other tells it what to think about.
But here is where the real magic happens. These are not competing approaches at all. They're collaborators. And the most powerful, amazing results come when you use both of them together in harmony.
Just imagine a medical assistant AI. You'd use context engineering to make absolutely sure it only gets its answers from a database of verified, peer-reviewed medical journals. That takes care of accuracy. Then you'd use prompt engineering to instruct it to explain those super complex topics in a simple, easy-to-understand, patient-friendly tone. See? One provides the facts, the other provides the voice. It's the perfect team-up.
So, why did we just go through all of this? Because understanding these two concepts, prompt and context, fundamentally changes your relationship with AI. It elevates you from just being a passive user to be an active manager. So next time you hit a wall with an AI, I want you to think about it like this. If you're struggling with how do I ask this the right way, your solution is better prompt engineering. But if your problem is what does the AI need to know to answer this correctly, well then you need context engineering. You now have the framework to diagnose and solve your AI challenges.
So the next time you open up an AI tool, don't think of yourself as just a user asking a question. Think of yourself as a manager directing a brilliant, really capable intern. You now have the tools to give clear instructions and to provide the absolute perfect background material. So the only question left is, what will you build?